From up here, this gorgeous little cobbled lane is called Down Along. If you were standing at the bottom, it would actually be called Up Along. Just a matter of perspective. Find out exactly where I am in just a moment. Today, I'm helping a couple of house-hunting novices who've been dreaming of country life for over 20 years. You could dry your socks on that, Dave, after a walk on Meshall Moor.
Yeah, I suppose you could do, really. It's got a nice long bar for my long socks.
But will any of our properties motivate them to make that big move? How is the house as a whole working for you so far?
It's sort of slapped us round the face, shall we say.
Today, I'm in Devon, in the charming fishing village of Covelli, and this is the main street, which has a different name depending on which end of the street you're actually standing on. But whichever way you look at it, this has to be a strong contender for one of the prettiest villages in the UK. This really is like stepping back in time. No buses, no cars. And if you're wondering how the local residents get their weekly shop home, well, in the old days, they used to use a donkey to help them get their fruit and veg back to their kitchen tables. Today, there's a specially designed sled, which, as well as helping out, also preserves the gorgeous historic aspect of this village. Sitting on the south coast with the neighbouring county of Cornwall to the west, Devon is the third largest county in England. Today's search takes us to the north of the county, where the coastline has been designated an area of outstanding natural beauty. The golden sandy beaches are popular with holidaymakers and water sports enthusiasts, from the seaside resort of Westwood Ho to Saunton Sands, one of Devon's prime surfing destinations. At the northwestern tip of the county, the rocky outcrop at Heartland Point provides some of the most dramatic coastal scenery in Britain, but also some of the fiercest currents, where the Bristol Channel meets the Atlantic. Inland, North Devon's landscape is shaped by agriculture, primarily dairy farming, producing the famous Devon clotted cream, an essential element of the traditional cream tea enjoyed by visitors here. Whether it's the coast, countryside or cream tea that draws you to the county, it's easy to see why Devon regularly tops polls for offering the best quality of life in the UK. £352,000 is the average price for a detached house here in Devon, which is £26,000 above the national figure. So it's a pretty pricey place to move to, especially because it's so popular with second homeowners. And it's also very popular with us holidaymakers. 6 million of us chose to come and stay here last year, including today's couple. But hopefully, if all goes according to plan, they won't be holidaying in this gorgeous county soon. They'll be calling it home. Today's buyers are a recently retired couple, Dave and Kaz. They met in 1971 when Dave wandered into Kaz's workplace.
I was working in a bank and Dave came in to open an account. And of course, in those days, it was the miniskirts.
You know, she looked good to me. So I asked her if she'd like to come for a coffee, and that's where it all began.
They moved into their three-bedroom home in Ashford, Kent, 33 years ago, with their 2 young sons, Jay and Lee, then 7 and 9.
We love this house when we moved. We still love this house, but when we moved here, a lovely-sized family house. 2 boys, youngsters, brought them up, and what our master plan was that when they left school, we'd move. But the location, being as it overlooks the green and we're not overlooked at the back and everything, we're still here. Rather than when they were 16 we would move, they're now 40 and we're still here, so we think it's time to make a move.
They've enjoyed the convenience of living in Ashford, but no longer feel that life in a busy town is for them. Their search for serenity has brought them to the West Country, an area where Dave has fond memories of visiting as a teenager.
We've had quite a few holidays in Devon. It's a very pretty county, it's got a lot to offer down there. The countryside is a great appeal to us because we like walking. I like cycling as well, and it would be nice to live somewhere where it would be, I can just jump on the bike and go.
It's the start of a new chapter, but also the end of an era, as they leave behind family and friendships made during their time in Kent.
Well, a lot of our friends have already moved in different parts of the country. Our son lives locally. He seems quite excited about it, really. Whether he wants us to go or not.
It means that he can come down for holidays, bring our grandchildren down to see us, probably leave them with us for a while.
With no shortage of activities to enjoy down in Devon, Dave and Kaz plan to make the most of what's on offer when they move.
When you enter this phase of your life, I think it's time to think about what you'd like to do while you can still do it.
I like gardening, and as long as it's not raining, you'll find me pottering around out in the garden. But it'd be nice to go somewhere else and start a new garden.
One of my passions is local history. So when we visit a lot of stately homes, to go through a lot of the stories that's attached to them is very interesting to me. And of course there's lots of lovely gardens and walks as well. That's what we're looking forward to. It is the freedom to just go and do it, you know, rather than plan it. You can you're there to experience it straight away.
Dave and Kaz are happy to house hunt anywhere in Devon, be it coast or countryside, but with walking and cycling opportunities nearby. It seems they're broadly flexible on location, so I'm meeting up with them to run through their wish list.
Oh.
Dave, Kaz, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Devon.
Well, thank you.
What's pulled you to Devon?
Well, it's a really pretty county and we've got some good memories of holidays.
A new adventure.
Yeah.
And what do you want in your dream home here in Devon? What are we searching for?
3 bedrooms, detached.
Oh, and obviously a nice sized garden.
Yeah. That's one of the main things for Kaz, yeah.
So garden's important to you, Kaz?
Yes.
In a nice position, edge of a village, perhaps a village that we can walk into and get involved with, really, you know, join in.
And is there anything you don't want to see in this property or that would not work for you so much?
I don't think we want to be overlooked, really, you know. I mean, we're not overlooked at the moment, front or back. We've got neighbours each side, but that works. So it would make a change to have a bit of space around us.
What kind of style are you looking for in the property?
I think something possibly that's got a bit of character to it. We don't mind new, but with character, sort of old but new, that type of thing.
Okay.
Or something that's, you know, done up rather nicely.
And how much are we looking to spend here in Devon?
Well, our tops is £300,000. That would just about do us nicely.
Well, let's see if we can work some magic for you. We've got some great properties for you to see. Shall we get searching?
Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
Dave and Kaz are hoping their budget of £300,000 will afford them a detached property with character and 3 bedrooms, as well as a good-sized garden for green-fingered Kaz. Although they're after a countryside setting, they also want to feel part of a community, so an edge-of-village location would be ideal. We've got a great selection of properties to tempt them with, but they won't find out the price tag of each one until they've had a guess at the end of each tour. Finally, we'll explore the Mystery House, which has an interesting past and offers an alternative view on life in the countryside. As we take to the road, I'm keen to work out the dynamic of this house-hunting duo.
Kaz, I've noticed Dave is a little more chatty than you.
Oh, yes.
So, but does that mean you're making the decisions? You're sort of the director of operations.
Yes, I do it secretly.
They always say it's the quiet ones you got to watch.
Our house search takes us to Meshaw, a small village just over 10 miles from Exmoor National Park. The larger, picturesque village of Witheridge is just 10 minutes away by car, where there's a village shop and post office and a pub. Nicknamed the gateway to the Two Moors Way, Witheridge is perfectly positioned along the walking route from Exmoor to Dartmoor, offering over 100 miles of walking and cycling opportunities for Dave and Kaz to enjoy. In the centre of Meshaw, our property is one of around 20 homes in the village.
Dave, Kaz, you said you wanted character.
Yes.
400 years of character.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm a great believer that if it's in good nick, it's definitely worth a look. So it wouldn't put us off straight away.
Well, this one is in good nick. It was done 6 years ago and it's been serviced a couple of years ago. Your garden and the land with this property goes right to the end, to that workshop at the end. So, but I thought, Dave, little man cave for you, perhaps?
It looks like a little house from here, doesn't it?
Shall we have a little explore?
Let's go.
Yeah.
This 17th century thatched cottage has plenty of character and links to the village. The workshop used to serve cream teas for the local residents, and the sitting room housed an antique shop. Let's see if they warm to the character.
Into your warm, cosy, snuggle up country kitchen with your range. You could dry your socks on that, Dave, after a walk on Meshall Moor.
Yeah, I suppose you could do, really. It's got a nice long bath with my long socks. It's got some age to it, hasn't it? It really has got some age to it. It's not probably been done up for a while, has it? The kitchen itself. It's in probably nice. It's in nice condition.
Dave used to work in kitchens.
There you go.
So he can design.
He should be a kitchen designer.
So redoing the kitchen, no problem for you?
No.
Should we take a look at the rest of the house?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Next door is currently used as a double bedroom, but could become a separate dining room. On the other side of the cottage is the sitting room, complete with beamed ceiling, feature fireplace and exposed brick walls.
I mean, look at that fireplace. The thickness of those walls, you can really feel the sort of history in the cottage looking at that.
Yeah. Dear.
Is this somewhere, Kaz, that you could curl up cosy at the end of a sort of a winter's day or a long walk?
Yes, I think so.
It's not a bad size room.
no.
It's nice and square, isn't it? You know, you've got double aspect. Very low ceiling.
They made them smaller in those days.
Yeah, there's a lot of history here, isn't there? It really is. Yeah.
Should we take a look upstairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Besides that ceiling height, it seems that they appreciate the overall character feel. Upstairs are the two main bedrooms, both good doubles, and a bright bathroom with a roll-top bath.
And up into the master bedroom. What do you think about the space, Kaz?
Nice size.
Built-in wardrobes over there as well. Yeah. I like the way the ceiling goes up in this area.
It gives you a little more headspace, doesn't
I
it?
can stand up straight. It has got a lot of interesting points. But I think this one is definitely a project.
And is that a project you feel you could take on between the two of you?
Well, we'd have a go if the price was right.
I know the important space for you, that garden space.
Yep.
Let's have a look at that. And then we've also got to guess the price.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
As the house isn't listed, there would be scope for Dave and Kaz to make improvements if they wanted to. The back door from the kitchen leads to an attractive south-facing cottage garden where there's a variety of mature shrubs and plants, a raised bed used for vegetables, and even a working water pump and well. So lots of lovely garden features.
Is this enough space for you?
Possibly. I know you shouldn't base it on the children all the time, but when they do come, they need somewhere to play.
It's not really in the right position either for children, right near this road. But what a beautiful little cottage it is.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk price. What do you think this is currently on the market for?
I'll go 300.
I'll go just a little bit lower and say 295.
Kaz, you're actually closest. This property is on the market for £285,000. So 15 under the top of your budget.
Okay.
Well, why don't you have another look around and then I'll catch up out the front with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Considerably under budget, this historic character cottage has great potential and generous living spaces. There's a pretty garden for Kaz, and it's a quiet village surrounded by walking and cycling opportunities for Dave.
If I'd have seen this property in an estate agent's window, it wouldn't have been the type of property we would have been looking for. But having said that, now we've looked around it, I'm really pleased we have, because it's been an eye-opener.
I like the look of it outside. It's a lovely garden, but I don't think it's not big enough for what we need it for.
And it's a bit too near close to that
It
main
is
road.
too near there.
If we had the grandchildren here, you know, you'd be very wary of it.
Well, what a day.
What a day.
Yeah.
So your first day of house hunting in what, 30 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
How are you feeling at the end of it?
Well, it's definitely opened our eyes.
Devon's picturesque landscape is scattered with historic houses and stately homes, providing plenty of places for Dave to indulge his thirst for history and Kaz's love of gardens when they set up home here. 15 miles west of Bideford, in a narrow wooded valley, Heartland Abbey is a 12th century monastery turned stately home with a rich and varied history. As well as being open to the public, it's the permanent residence of the Stukely family. We sent our buyers along to meet Lady Stukely to have a look around before the team pack up some of the family's memorabilia, which has been on display for the open season.
Hello, you must
Hello.
be Dave and Kaz.
We are, yes. Lovely
nice
to
to
meet
see
you. Thank you.
Really nice. Thank you for bringing such a beautiful day.
Well, it's such a beautiful building. How long has the Abbey been an ancestral home?
Well, it was the last monastery in the country to be dissolved. Henry VIII purportedly lost a game of tennis to the sergeant of his wine cellar, called William Abbott. And so he gave Heartland Abbey to him. And Mr. Abbott is my husband's ancestor. It's been in the family since 1539.
And is it your family home all the year round?
It is, Kaz. We're open to the public for 6 months of the year. And none of the house is shut away at all. We don't have our own quarters or anything like that. Sadly, it's not big enough, though. I'm going to take you in now, and I'm going to introduce you to Peter, who's one of our wonderful stewards. And he's going to show you some of the jobs that we've got to do today to pack up the house for the winter.
Well, lead on. Let's get to it.
The Abbey's architectural characteristics are a mix of medieval, Queen Anne and Georgian. Inside, the decoration is largely Victorian, with furniture and artefacts collected over many generations. The striking Alhambra passage was masterminded by Sir George Gilbert Scott in 1862 on the instruction of Sir George Stukely after a visit to Granada. The running of the Abbey as a visitor attraction is overseen by a team of expert volunteers and stewards like Peter Senior, who Dave and Kaz are meeting in the drawing room. Last modified in the 1850s, the interior was inspired by the Palace of Westminster.
Wow. Was there a specific room in the Palace of Westminster?
There was indeed. It was the Queen's Robing Room. In the Queen's Robing Room, you have panelled walls with scenes from Arthurian legend in murals above. So hence we have the panel walls in this room and scenes, in this case, of Stukely history.
So who was the artist that actually depicted all this?
These paintings were done in the 1850s by a man called Alfred Beer, who was really a stained glass artist from Exeter. Of course, they're not always to everybody's taste. At one point, all the murals were covered up with white paper. Although we know when the white paper was taken off, it's not altogether clear when it was put on.
Before the introduction of electricity, the paintings had been covered in lining paper to enhance the room's quality of light. When it was finally removed, these magnificent murals were revealed, much to the family's surprise. For the 6 months the Abbey is open to visitors, several of the most historic and decorative artefacts are out on display. As the season draws to a close and the Abbey is being transformed back into a family home for the winter, many of the items are packed away while Sir Hugh and Lady Stukely enjoy a more relaxed home life. One of the Abbey's finest pieces is the Robert Dupe expanding table in the dining room.
So it's all mahogany, isn't it?
It's
And
all
the
mahogany.
How does it actually, come apart?
Well, when you see it, it's very simple, which is the genius of the thing, really, like a lot of these things.
Made in 1840, the table was bought by the family in 1934 for the sum of just 10 guineas. It's amazing to think these tables are worth in the region of £100,000 today.
Get hold of these pieces, rotate that way, a little way, just gently. That's it. You can see that they're starting to come apart.
That's it.
Probably far enough.
Yep.
Now we pull these straight out.
The table can be altered to 3 different sizes to suit between 8 and 22 people. Notable guests at the table have included Princess Victoria of Sweden and Lady Thatcher.
OK, now we're going to go that way to close it up.
OK.
And that's brilliant.
Well, now we passed our initiation test, perhaps we could apply for a job.
Well, we'll think about that.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.
Now all that's left for Dave and Kaz to do is put their packing skills into practice back home so they can bring their prized possessions into their new abode here in Devon. But first, we need to find it for them. I'm house hunting with retired couple Dave and Kaz from Kent, who after more than 30 years in one place have decided to start their next chapter here in Devon. They're hoping their £300,000 budget will bag them a detached property with space for the grandchildren to stay. So far, it doesn't seem that they've been blown away by what they've seen, but coming up, our Mystery House presents the unexpected.
So here we are, your mystery house.
Wow. That's a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it, really?
And as the search heats up, I find out how to make a feature fireplace more energy efficient.
Oh, wow. You can feel the heat straight away coming in here. Well, today is a brand new day and we have two more fantastic properties for them to see, including that mystery house, which offers them all the inside space they're after, but in good old-fashioned escape to the country style, throws them a little bit of a curveball. For the budget, it is, I have to say, one of the finest properties on the market here in Devon today. That to come later. First, though, this morning's house, and it's another fine property. I just hope Dave and Kaz also think so.
We're continuing our search in the village of Beaufort. The nearest town is Great Torrington, famous as the site of one of the last major battles of the English Civil War in 1646, the Battle of Torrington. Today, it's a vibrant market town, which has been voted North Devon's most welcoming community. I'm hoping Dave and Kaz will feel at home in our next property, positioned in a quiet cul-de-sac back in Beaufort, where they really would have the countryside right on their doorstep.
So here we are.
Right. First
Looks
impressions?
nice from outside.
Yeah, it does. Got quite a bit of potential there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kaz, I know having the grandkids play somewhere safe was extremely important to you. This road, just listening,
Nice and quiet.
Yes.
lovely and quiet. Would this be the kind of thing they could have their little bicycles out and
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
a bit of a kick about?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It looks lovely from outside, but I'd like to see inside.
Dave, I'm sensing she's keen to get in there.
Keen to get in there.
Shall I waste no time? Shall we get straight through the front door?
Let's go.
Come on then.
This modern property was built just 15 years ago. Inside, it's been finished to a high standard and it's deceptively spacious. I'm hoping they'll agree.
So come through into your kitchen diner.
Very nice.
Very,
I like the surface.
very light as well, isn't it? Space-wise,
Space-wise,
it's good.
it's
It's
good,
good. Yeah, I mean, you've got probably more room around the table. It's obviously very workable.
Thumbs up so far?
Thumbs
So
up.
far?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know the entertaining space was important to you as well
Yes.
when you have all the family come to stay. So let's go and take a look at that.
Okay.
So through those double doors into your living room.
Lovely space.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah, it is.
And you've actually got that extra living space. You could open the double doors there through into your conservatory, which was added to the house a few years ago.
It looks lovely and bright out there.
How would you use that?
I don't know.
She'd be sitting out there reading a book.
Yes, probably.
Shall we take a look upstairs?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Also downstairs at the front of the house, there's a study with plenty of storage, which could be used as a guest bedroom. The living spaces down here have got the thumbs up, so fingers crossed the positive reactions continue as we head upstairs, where there are two well-decorated, bright double bedrooms and two bathrooms. So let's see what they think.
And into the master bedroom, which gives you in this property an ensuite as well.
Ooh.
Bit of a bonus?
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
bonus.
Definite bonus. Yeah, that is.
Nice size, but you've got two chest of drawers either side. It gives you plenty of room.
And an ensuite.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Well, how about a fabulous garden?
Well,
that would be good.
That would be good. Shall we see if we found you that?
Yes, please.
Okay, come on.
The inside of this property delivers everything they asked for and is ready to move into, meaning they could focus their efforts on transforming the low-maintenance garden outside into a haven for Kaz and the grandchildren. Plus, there's enough room for a greenhouse and a garage space for Dave and his bike, with utility area built in.
Kaz, I know you're the green fingers in this partnership. Is this somewhere you could imagine relaxing of an evening?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's
Yes,
lovely.
very peaceful.
And how do you think the grandchildren would enjoy this space?
Oh, they'd
Oh,
like it.
they'd run round and round and round in circles, no doubt.
There's lots of places they could play hide and seek here. Yeah.
What do you think this property is on the market for?
I'll go 305.
Dave, what do you think?
I think Kaz is on the right wavelength for this one, but I think it's a bit more. I think it's about 310.
This is actually on the market, not over your budget, bang on the top of your budget, £300,000.
300, yeah. Yeah. Well, there we are.
So a lot of positives to this one.
Yes,
yeah, we have got a lot of positives to this one. Yeah.
Well, now you know what it's on the market for. Why don't you have another look around and we'll catch up outside after.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Bang on budget, this well-presented property would give them the 3 bedrooms they need, as well as the generous, bright living spaces they were hoping for. The wrap-around garden would make a great project for Kaz, and it's in a quiet cul-de-sac location, offering a balance of village life in a countryside setting.
My first feelings when I saw this place was it looks like a new build, but it was a very nice area, very quiet. As soon as I came into the house, the first thing I noticed was the finish of it. It's immaculate, and the whole feeling of the house was nice.
It's got a warm feel about it. This house has got enough garden space for us. We may like to add a few little bits to it, but it's more or less perfect.
Hi! Hello. You've had a good look round?
Yes, thank you.
Right, seen anything?
Yes. Okay.
Let's head off.
Okay.
Our mystery house takes us to the town of North Torton. It lays claim to being one of Devon's smallest towns. At its heart, the Grade 2 listed clock tower was built to commemorate the 1887 Jubilee.
There's been a market town on this site since 1270, and it's been home to famous residents including Ted Hughes. There's a blue plaque to him here, and Sylvia Plath as well, the poet. What do you think?
Well, yeah, it looks a nice little town.
Yeah,
It's got a
all
lot.
the amenities. that
Yeah,
you-
lots of shops. Obviously, there's lots of history here as well. You can tell by the buildings, can't you? Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like it, because we're just a stroll away from what could be your new home.
All right. Okay.
Dave and Kaz might be surprised by quite how close we are.
So here we are, your mystery house.
Wow. That's a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it, really?
And I know you wanted detached.
And it is, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah.
by 6 inches.
It definitely makes a statement, doesn't it?
It does make a statement, and it also does that inside. So, should we get in?
Let's go.
Yes, please.
Built in the 1920s to replace 2 cottages after they burnt down, our intriguing mystery property had former lives as a haberdasher's, antique shop and cafe with accommodation upstairs. It was converted during the 1970s and 80s into the detached home that exists today, retaining its 1920s grandeur.
In you come. Come straight through. So, into the main living space. Now, you wanted space.
Yes.
You were after light, weren't you? Yes. Space and light.
There's definitely space.
Space light, chandeliers, big windows.
Huge windows, the original plate glass,
Yeah.
and then you've got the double glazing now there.
Yeah. Definitely gives you the wow factor as you walk in, doesn't it?
And Kaz, is this enough space for you when you're entertaining the family? That was a concern of yours.
Yes.
There's definitely enough space.
Yes.
Have you got enough furniture to fill this one?
No, I don't think so.
We'll have a go.
They felt room size was an issue in some of our previous properties, but I'm confident there'll be no complaints with the generously proportioned spaces in this house. Next to the main reception area, there's a second sitting room leading onto the kitchen.
So through that lovely snug and into your kitchen.
Yeah.
Got your big sash windows, so again, lots of light.
Lovely big sash windows, yeah.
Lovely slate work prep tops next to the wooden worktops, which I think is a lovely little feature.
Nice touch, yeah.
Do you turn the snug into a breakfast room or?
Possibly, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
I just
think
think
so.
that, yeah.
That could be a breakfast room. Then
Yeah.
if you have a formal dining, you could use the other end of the big room, couldn't you, really?
Yeah.
Because it is so big, you
It
have
is so
got
big,
that
yeah.
space,
Yeah,
haven't
you could do that. Mm.
And there's yet more space to come upstairs. The staircase leads from the sitting room up to an impressive landing, of which there are 3 large, sympathetically decorated double bedrooms and a good-sized fourth, currently being used as a study. A family bathroom offers an oasis of calm overlooking the rear garden, and there's a separate WC along with a shower room.
Oh, thanks, Kaz. So into what I think would be a great main bedroom for you. Come and have a look at this. Those gorgeous big windows,
Yeah.
flooded with light, just heavenly space.
I mean,
Nice.
it is big.
Yeah.
So enough space with the 4 bedrooms?
Yes.
Yes.
Any reservations here? What are you thinking?
Not really. It's such a different house. It's taking time to sink in.
How is the house as a whole working for you so far?
It's sort of slapped us round the face, shall we say. But it's a lot to take in.
Well, lots of space inside the property. And of course, there's the garden.
Yeah.
Which I know, again, your green fingers will be itching to get to. So let's have a look at that, and then we've got to guess the price.
Oh, we have, yeah.
Let me show you the way.
Okay.
Heading outside, there's a useful utility area running the length of the mystery property, which delivers on space and style. The garden is no exception, extending to around 20 metres. It's split across 3 tiers and includes a seating area, a workshop which would make a great little potting shed for Kaz, a pretty herb garden, and at the top there's a level lawn and a summer house.
And here we are at the very top. A mystery garden in a mystery house. It really is quite a magical garden, isn't it?
It is.
It is a magical garden. Feel like you're at the top of the world.
Is this a space you could work with, Kaz?
Never seen or had a garden like this before.
No, I think I could work with it. I'm just wondering about the so many steps.
Yeah.
As I'm not getting any younger.
What, whether you'll get up and later on?
What do you think this is currently on the market for?
I'm going to go 295.
Oh, you've just taken the words out of my mouth. I'll go £290,000.
Well, this time, Dave, you're closest. But you're both right, it is under budget. This house is £50 under the very top of your budget. It's currently on the market for £299,950.
Right.
That's a lot of house for your money.
It is a lot of
It
house,
is a lot of
yes.
house, yeah.
Why don't you take another look round,
Okay.
and then we'll catch up and lots to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have a good look round.
Go on, take your time.
Okay, thank you.
On budget, this beautiful mystery property provides an abundance of both character and space. It would give them an extra bedroom and reception room, as well as a private garden. It's situated in the heart of a small market town, but it's just 6 miles from the open spaces of Dartmoor.
If I had to put character up against new build, character would win hand over fist. No contest. I mean, this house has got so much going for it. But for 2 of us, we think it's probably a bit too large. We've learnt a lot from this journey, I think, both of us, haven't we,
Yeah.
really? It's shown us what we can get for our money, what we can't get for our money.
And it's opened our eyes, maybe to get something similar, but not quite as big.
So a fantastic mystery house, maybe too much of a house for Dave and Kaz. Hi! Right, have you explored every nook and cranny of the mystery house?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
There's a lot of it, isn't there?
There certainly is, yeah.
Shall we find somewhere to have a cup of tea and a bit of a chat now?
Why not?
Always, please.
Come on.
House buyers on escape to the country present us with a wish list of what they'd like in their dream home. From period features to open-plan kitchens, a recurrent feature that house hunters always love is a beautiful fireplace or wood-burning stove.
Take a look at this.
Oh,
That is a fireplace.
that is a fireplace.
That's fantastic.
I've never had one, always wanted one.
I love the wood burner.
Yep, it's great.
It's a double wood burner because one isn't good enough for you.
I'm taking some time out to visit Wood Warm Stoves, a local company who've been manufacturing stoves here in Devon for over 30 years. Co-director Rupert Snook has offered to show me around.
Hi, Rupert.
Hi,
It's good to
Margarita.
see you.
you.
Nice to be in the workshop.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is where it all happens.
This is exactly where it all happens.
Rupert, what's made the wood-burning stove or the dual burner so popular? Because those fireplaces are great, but everyone seems to love wood burners right now. Why?
When you're sitting around a beautiful fireplace, between 80 and 90% of the heat is going up the chimney. And not only is it going up the chimney, it's taking quite a lot of the heat from the room up there with it. So a stove reverses that efficiency. So only, 10 to 20% of the heat goes up the chimney, and the rest of the heat radiates out into the room.
So how do you actually go about manufacturing a stove here?
We find the steel, British steel, then we've got to have the cast iron to go with that steel. So the steel we make into the shapes we need with the cutter. We bend those shapes into the shape we need for the stove itself.
And the steel here, this seems quite solid, there's quite a weight. How many sheets of this would go into making a stove?
Probably just about one. One sheet of steel makes a stove with all the bits and pieces that need to go with it, yes.
The heat provided by a stove is a convex heat, which compared to a radiant heat produced by an open fire, circulates far better throughout a property. They're also more efficient in terms of the amount of fuel burned. In the workshop, Rupert has a team of 24 highly skilled craftsmen working across the different parts that make up each stove.
Rupert, there is so much going on here. I feel like I'm in the heat of the stove itself. What exactly is happening?
So those bits we saw being cut over the other side are being stuck together by welders who've been doing it for a long time. Once they put all the bits of steel together, we end up with something like this once it's been fitted. So not only are they putting the bits together, but the fitters over here are putting the cast iron doors and the grates onto the product and then finishing it off so that it's ready to go to the shop blaster and actually be prepared for being sprayed.
Can I see the finished product?
Yes, do. Come over to the other side and we'll see what we can find over there.
Rupert tells me that a well-placed stove in a property often negates the need for central heating, even in the coldest of winters. So they can be a much cheaper way of heating your house, especially if you have your own wood supply.
Wow, you can feel the heat straight away coming in here. So when I get my stove installed, the fuel that I run it with, does that need to be special? Can I just nip into the garden and chop a branch or two off a tree?
If you chop a branch off a tree, you're actually, it's a living product. So it has at least 60% moisture in it. So to get rid of that moisture, which is embedded in the structure of the plant, you need to cut it down, split it, and then dry store it for at least 18 months.
Is that what it is to season a log?
That's seasoning a log.
Clearly, all wood is combustible, but hardwoods like ash, oak and beech are considered far better for burning as they're more heat-dense than a softwood like pine or Douglas fir, meaning they'll burn brighter for longer. So, with the onset of a seasonal chill, a quality stove could make the perfect companion for those cosy winter evenings here in the country.
So after an unsteady start yesterday, I am really pleased that we've had such positive responses from both Dave and Kaz to what we've seen today, and that they really seem to be finding their feet in this world of property searching, something they haven't done for a number of years, really getting a clear idea of what it is they want in their new home here in Devon. Have we managed to find it for them? Let's find out. Dave, Kaz, what have you made of the experience?
It's been very eye-opening, and it's taught us a lot what we're really looking for and what we're not looking for.
Yeah, there's more out there than we originally thought.
What have you changed on that list, or have the priorities within that list changed?
Well, we stipulated quite strongly that we wanted detached, but since having a good look round the area, I mean, there is places that are partly attached in a decent community that maybe we would have a look at.
Now that might be open for consideration?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's talk about the properties. Which one came closest to your wish list?
The property with the conservatory was immaculate, absolutely immaculate. The area it was in was quite good because there was lots of places to go for walks and everything else.
It was very pretty, wasn't it?
It was very pretty, yeah. But I think we would be looking to live somewhere perhaps with a little bit more going on.
And you also seem quite taken with the mystery house. How did you feel about that one?
Well, that was a magical mystery tour. Yes. It really was, it really was. It was a fantastic property.
But it was a bit too big just for two of us.
Just for two of us. And I can see Kaz, as she gets older, going up and down them 3 terraces in the garden.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step for you both?
Well, I think we will continue to look in this area and hopefully find something, more suitable. But we know we've got a job on our hands, that's for sure. You've done a great job, though, with the ones you've shown us. It's been a joy to search with you. And do let us know how it goes and where you end up.
We will do.
And all we can say is thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
It's been a joy, real joy. I'm disappointed that we haven't managed to find Kaz and Dave a new home here in Devon. But as Dave said, as they began their first property search in over 30 years, a detached property on their budget was going to be a big ask. What I'm really pleased about is that they've come to the realisation that whether a property is detached or not is nowhere near as important for them as the space that's inside that property to welcome in their family and the space that's outside to create their new life here in Devon. And knowing that opens so many new doors to them in the hunt for that dream home. And I'm sure, knowing that, it won't be too long before Dave and Kaz are sending out those change of address letters and celebrating a new life here in glorious Devon. I'll see you next time on Escape to the Country.
If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales and would like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.